So I'm seeing a lot more social media content by car dealerships, the trending fads and funny and you know, different things like that, which is great, which is awesome. But the whole point of doing that is to gain followers so that we can be present when they're in the market, when they're, you know, looking to buy a car. So I really want to dive more into the organic value of that type of posting, of social media posting. Because if all we're doing is the trending, the funny, the, you know, things like that, the entertaining, that does work for some stores, but it took them a long time to build up their following with that content. What I would suggest that you do interwoven into that content is also do educational content. There's a guy in, where is he at? I can't remember where his store is at, but it's a Mercedes store. He does funny content, but he also does educational content about Mercedes. He talks about cars for sale, but he does it in a way, and I'll link it in the comments. I'll find it later and I'll link it in the comments or of this video. The stuff that he does, it is educational about that particular product, and he uses hashtags and he uses key phrases in his title description of his videos. And why is all that important? This guy has millions of followers online too, by the way. But why is that all that important? All that is important because when it comes time for people to use ChatGPT or an organic search for your dealership, guess what's popping up in their searches? That guy for Mercedes stuff. His information is popping up. Here's a reference video because he tagged his video correctly, or he hashtagged his video with enough relevancy that it shows up in this search. Things like that matter. So don't think that your sales guys are out there dancing weird on a truck and that's not going to drive you any sales. Absolutely, it will drive you traffic to your site. You're not looking for I never saw anyone who told me they saw a Facebook post and bought a car. No, probably not. But I don't think you've questioned thoroughly every single individual who's come into your store either. So I really like my stores that I consulted with and my stores now that I work with to really own the organic presence they have on social media from an educational aspect as well as the entertainment aspect of it. It used to be you could pick one or the other. You can be educational, you can be entertaining, but you can't be both. Yeah, you got to be both now. It's one thing, and I've said this, I don't even know how many times, one thing we know how to do in the car business, and that's pivot. It's time for the pivot. So, and this guy does that educational plus entertaining exceedingly well. He's not the only one. He's just the first one that came to my mind right now. But I would really challenge you to layer in those different aspects of the posts that you're doing. The reason being is because as AI becomes more the popular way to search, more the popular way to get information on vehicles, we need to stay ahead of that curve with the proper content, not only on our website, but also in our social media postings. Our videos on YouTube that talk about, from an educational standpoint, comparing 2026 models to 2025 models and so on, you know, and CPO models for our brand as opposed to this other brand, you know, things like that. Those things matter and will matter even more as we get into a more AI, open AI kind of the search mentality. And if you don't think that's coming, you were probably also the people that thought people wouldn't submit internet leads to buy cars 15 years ago, 20 years ago. So I would really challenge you to start building up that long tail keywords in the different kinds of AI inspired blog posts that really trigger people to and link to your website and trigger the organic traffic to your site, because that is going forward, that is going to become vitally important to how we gain organic traffic. And I've said it I said it in the last video, and I'll say it again in this video. Paid traffic, you're not going to PPC your way out of a bad situation with down traffic on your website. You have to concentrate on what you're doing to improve your organic traffic to your website. And if you're not actively working on that, there's nothing you can do paid marketing wise that's going to get you out of that hole. You have to do them concurrently. I'm not saying you should abandon paid marketing altogether, because that's going to drop 25% of your traffic off a cliff. But what I am saying is the organic traffic, the building up of the educational and entertaining content on social media, as well as linking that back into your website, those kinds of things all matter. So for my stores that, your smaller stores that you don't have big companies to build this stuff for you, you can outsource this stuff. You can outsource this stuff on a one-to-one. There's plenty of experts out there that do this stuff and do it really well. There's tons of companies. That's all they do is build SEO. But I would absolutely, if you're interviewing companies to add SEO to your site, I would absolutely ask them a couple of key questions. Where else is this SEO content appearing exactly as it appears from my site? Is this a template you use, or is this built specifically with my geography and my brand in mind? You need to ask them very pointed questions. And I'd like to give them the benefit of the doubt. They'll answer you directly and honestly. But really put a lot of thought into the organic and the SEO value that you have out there in the universe as we lean more heavily into a ChatGPT world. And that includes the content that you're producing on social media, as well as the standard blog post, the standard press release, things like that. Food for thought. Happy selling.